Welcome back to Coffee and Conversation. So, for those of you who are interested in Audie news, he is sitting about 10 feet away from me, glaring at me, because he just got a bath. Now, if I had had my choice, I would not have bathed him right now, because we're going through a cold snap, and a wet cat in the cold is just not a good plan. But unfortunately, he got into something, and my goodness, did he smell bad. So he got his bath. He is all clean, looking wet and pathetic now. But I dried him up in as far as he would let me. I usually have to do this in sort of 2 or 3 batches. He'll let me get some done, and then he needs to go run away and lick his wounds, and then he'll let me dry a little more, and so on, until eventually I get him dry. But I decided to do it in the evening, so that even though I'm pretty sure he will not be completely dry by bedtime, I will be able to wrap him up in bed with me where I know he will be warm, because I don't want him, wet and cold. And that's very unpleasant, even though right now he is sitting on a plastic lid in the kitchen because I need to know how much he's suffering. I mean, basically, that's what it is. Look at me. I am a pathetic cat. I am forced to shiver on a plastic lid on the floor. So, yeah, we are into nonstop pity party for poor Audie today. But like I say, it had to be done. Whatever it is he got into, he couldn't have liked that smell any more than I did. So, when you see him next, you will be seeing a clean, fluffy cat and not a miserable, smelly one. He will get over this quickly. I have been bathing Audie on a regular basis since he first came to live with me, so he's accustomed to it. He tries to escape, but he doesn't try to scratch me or bite me or anything aggressive like that. He just attempts to flee. And I can live with that. But the fact is that whenever you have an animal, the animal's hygiene often falls to you as the animal owner, whether the animal likes it or not. And Audie does not like it. So we're going to break quickly for the intro, and we will be right back. Well, my little bad kitty has come over here. He's no longer sitting on a plastic lid on the kitchen floor. Now he's over here. He may end up photobombing the video. It looks like he's plotting something, probably my death after that bath. But if he does show up, great, you're going to get to see how pathetic a wet, dripping kitty looks. Actually, he's not dripping, but he is wet, and he does look very pitiful. He's doing that on purpose, by the way. All cats do. So, I had something very different in mind for this video, and I thought we would do an Amazon Vine haul. Now, I'm not going to show you actual stuff. I'm going to show you pictures of actual stuff because I want you to be able to see it. But I am going to give you my opinion of all of these things. Now, let's start with, I know from the comments that some of you are not fans of Amazon. To each his own. Amazon is a major employer in my area. They put food on a lot of tables in my community. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're feeding my neighbors' families, I'm not going to say anything against you. But I have had overall good results shopping on Amazon. I have been able to go onto Amazon and get name brand items through Amazon at deep discounts, exactly the same thing I would have gotten from either the manufacturer directly or from a major retailer. So Amazon is one of my preferred shopping outlets. I like the fact that they basically have no questions asked return policies. So I'm okay with that. But I did want you to see what it is they are giving away in their Vine program. And this is a program Amazon has. They send you products. Now you get to choose the products they send. You go to their website, you see what's on offer, and you say, well, I'll take this and I'll take that, but I'm not interested in the rest. So they don't just send you random stuff. You choose the stuff you are getting. And I have gotten some really nice, really interesting things from them. So I thought I would share that with you, just so you can get some sense of what is on offer. So I'm doing this in no particular order, just things that I thought you might be interested in. And let me start with this pair of earrings. It's costume jewelry. It's not really my style, but I thought I would at least give it a try, see if I liked it. And again, they're giving it to me for free, so thank you very much, Amazon. And naturally, I do write reviews for this because that's what the program expects you to do. I thought the earrings were very pretty. They would be great for someone, I think, a younger person. I think this is a pair of earrings for a young woman in her 20s or 30s. Not really my taste. And I don't know, maybe I've aged out of this style, but they are attractive, and for the right person, this would really be a very nice bit of jewelry. A lot of bling, a lot of sparkle. Next up, this is an apron. Now, I got this apron. It's a Korean-style apron. I got this for my neighbor Jane across the street because she does a lot of cooking, and I thought it might be useful for her. Now, for me personally, I would never get an apron like this for myself because I need an apron with a bib because you put me in the kitchen, I'm spilling everything all over myself. So, yes, I have bib-style aprons. The same kind of aprons my grandmother wore, and she wasn't as messy as I am. But Jane does like it. It's a very pretty pattern. I didn't like the way it was constructed. It wouldn't have suited me because it wraps around your body, which I find too confining. Apparently it worked fine for Jane. She thinks it's perfectly acceptable, and because it's very pretty, it's this lovely Korean style, she's happy with it. So, win for Jane. Next up, yes, let's go over to this is a set of battery-operated wall sconces. Really pretty. So you can pop this on your wall. You can get light in a dark area. It's dimmable. It's all kinds of fabulous. And I looked at that and said, ooh, I've got a spot for this because I do have a dark alcove in my bedroom. So that's where they ended up going. It was an easy install. I thought it was a great little set. And it operates on a remote. And did I mention that it has a dimmer? Well, it has a dimmer, and it operates on a remote. So, win-win. On top of everything else, I can actually stick the remote under my pillow. By the way, I have like 4 remotes under my pillow for various things around my bedroom. So I think the biggest challenge is figuring out which one operates the light. But it will let me turn a light on and off without even getting out of bed, which is just an unanticipated win. But I thought this was a great product. I did not even think about, well, what about a battery-powered, a battery-powered sconce that requires no wiring, can just be popped up on the wall, like a picture. Never even occurred to me. So I was really glad to come across this one. Okay, this next one is a cute little thing. It is a little travel wallet / crossbody bag. It's just a little pouch with like half a dozen pockets that will hold all of your documents. It'll hold credit cards, and I had no trouble sticking my phone, let me dig that out, which is not small, into that little item. And I thought it was just a remarkably cute little just walking wallet. And because I do go out walking before dawn, and ordinarily in the winter, I stick everything I need into those kangaroo pouch pockets in my sweatshirts. I'm all set. But then summer rolls around and I don't have a spot to hold all of the stuff I feel like I need to carry, especially if I'm out, before dawn, wandering the streets. So yeah, I would like to have my phone with me. I would like to have my keys with me, things like that. And this was just a really nifty little piece. I enjoyed receiving it. I do take it out with me when I am walking and I don't want to carry a handbag. So that was nifty. And again, these things are all absolutely free. So here's another nifty one. This is something I never thought I would be ordering, period. And this is a bathing suit. Now, it's a bathing suit / romper, but I like it. It's a bathing suit that keeps you reasonably covered. At my age, that becomes important to me. My bikini wearing days are long over, and I do not want to be one of those women pretending to be 18 when, that ship sailed long ago. But I like the idea of being able to have a bathing suit that keeps me sufficiently covered so that I'm not feeling self-conscious. And this was actually a very, very good acquisition for me. It is not something I ever would have thought of if left to my own devices. I wouldn't have said, oh, I'm going to Amazon and look for a bathing suit. No. But when they offered it, I thought, ooh, maybe we should give this a try. And I love it. I absolutely love this thing. So, yeah, this is what I am going to be wandering around in next summer. And because I will be so covered, I will be as covered as if I were wearing just shorts and a t-shirt. I will be fine. Let's take a look at another one. Now, this is one that I thought was going to work out well for me, but didn't. And this is a pair of, I guess they are yoga pants. Anyway, they are sweatpants. And I thought, oh, sweatpants. Lovely. You can't go wrong with sweatpants. Well, unfortunately, you can go wrong with sweatpants. This is not something that I cared for at all. They are warm. I will say that for them. So I can wear them out walking at 5 in the morning when it's dark and nobody sees me. I'm okay with that. But would I wear them out where anybody could see me? No, I would not. And remember, I've already decided I will wear that bathing suit out in public. So, yeah. The problem I had with these is they are so polyester that, some polyester things you can deal with. But these, well, they were just like slick and shiny polyester. Was not a fan, not at all. But will I wear them out for the warmth of them at 5 in the morning, walking in the winter where nobody sees me? Sure. So even though they did not work out the way I had hoped they would, I thought, oh, these might end up working out well as a pair of sweatpants that I could wear out in public. Not exactly, but I am going to get some use out of them. And in fact, if I find I do not get as much use out of them as I thought I would, I will donate them. So I'll make sure somebody else can get some use out of them. Oh, I'm wearing this one. Here, I'll pull this up so you can see it. Boston Celtics. They gave me a Boston Celtics sweatshirt. Now, keep in mind, I could have gone on their site and chosen, and they had all kinds of sports team sweatshirts. I think they were all basketball teams, but I'm not a basketball fan, so I wouldn't know. But of course, Boston Celtics, yes, naturally I took it. It's not quite as good as the Red Sox, but hey, it'll do. So, yes, sweatshirt. Am I wearing? I'm wearing it right now. I find this to be a very useful sweatshirt for the kind of use that I like to give to sweatshirts. You know, you put a sweatshirt on when you're going to be scrubbing the floors or working in the garden, or in my case, bathing a cat. But it's nice to have the home team colors on it. And I would think for a sports fan, that would have made signing up for the Vine program well worth it, because I believe this goes for something close to $75. And sports fans will pay this. They will actually pony up that kind of money for, a sweatshirt with their team colors on it. But, for me, yeah, I'm using it to wash the cat. But still, it is a comfortable sweatshirt. It is attractive. I have no complaints about this. If I were a Celtics fan, I would probably be very much enamored of it. If this were a Red Sox sweatshirt, I'd probably like it more, just to be fair. But I think it's a good piece, and I think the idea that Amazon is handing out $75 sweatshirts, yeah, it's not just junk they are giving away. And this is definitely something I am wearing. Now, I'm wearing it around the house because, again, it's a sweatshirt, but I'm getting a lot of use out of it. And I haven't had it for very long, so I would say, yeah, I'm glad to have this. So the next two things I want to talk about were really, boy, they had my number on this. I got a pair of boot trees from Amazon's Vine program. Now, boot trees are like shoe trees, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about the wonders of shoe trees until you're sick to death of hearing about it. But I like shoe trees. I think if you have high-quality shoes, or even medium-quality shoes, but you'd like to keep them for a while, get yourself some shoe trees. But I had never gotten boot trees. That was something I just really hadn't done, mostly because I don't have tall boots. My boots are like ankle-high boots. We just don't get that much snow around here. So I figured, well, if I felt like the ankles of those boots needed support, I would get boot trees, but I never felt that way. So I have not gotten them. Amazon offered me some, and I said, oh yes, please. Because again, this is something I ordinarily buy. I buy shoe trees, and I buy most of my shoe trees from Amazon, by the way. And so, yeah, great. They gave me something I would have given them money for. I do like these boot trees, by the way. If I were to buy boot trees on my own, I probably would have gotten cedar, but that's only because I'm picky about my shoe trees. But in terms of the serviceability of them, perfectly fine. I am glad to have them, and it saves me the trouble of buying either boot trees or shoe trees for my boots, which I would have done anyway. And that's the key thing about this. I would have gotten this or something similar anyway. Okay, this next one is something I buy all the time. And this is a set of note cards from Punch Studios. Now, Punch Studios is the company that makes my Christmas cards. Every year I go back to the same company over and over again, Punch Studio, because they have fabulous cards, beautiful designs, very, very high quality. I like their embossed cards, and they're so elegant, and some of them have little plastic gems on them. They're very, very fancy schmancy cards. So, would I buy Punch Studio cards? Yes, I do it all the time. In fact, when I got this set of note cards, 2 days earlier, I had gotten Punch Studio Christmas cards, because this is the time of year when they put them on sale, and I will buy them for next year. So yeah, and that was one of the two things that I got from Amazon's Vine program that I can tell you I absolutely would have bought regardless. I'm going to continue to buy Punch Studio cards. I am going to continue to buy shoe trees. So that's when participating in the Vine program really pays off, when they give you something for free that you would have happily purchased for cash. Okay, this one is interesting because not only would I have purchased it, but I actually did purchase a similar product because Amazon gave it to me. And that is this little set of shoe holders. Now, these shoe holders I'm not using for shoes. I am using them for sweaters because they are perfectly serviceable for sweaters. If you take the sweaters, fold them up and roll them as if you were packing them, and drop them in to those little cubby holes, and bang, it will hold a whole bunch of sweaters. It worked out so well that I just went off and got some more. And in fact, right here, get this up. They came in today. The new shoe holder / sweater holders. So again, it's the sort of thing that I would have happily bought, and in fact did, as a result of Amazon giving me the item and me seeing how well it worked, not for shoes, but for something totally different. So yeah, Amazon is smart to do this because, yeah, they're giving me stuff and I'm going back and buying more. So let's finish up with this last item, and I've got plenty more, so if you like this, let me know and I'll show you the rest of the stuff. But this is the last item we're going to take a look at on this video. And this was a scale. Now, as you all know, I have been working to lose weight, so a scale is very handy. But my previous scale was very twitchy. I could get on that scale 5 or 6 times and get a different weight each time I got on that scale. It had just gotten so temperamental, and I was actively looking for a scale like this. And the reason I was looking for it is because it's very thin, and I like those thin scales, small, thin. This one has like a baby tray, so you can weigh your baby or your cat or your whatever you want to on the scale. And handy enough, but I'm not using that. But I like this scale very much because no matter how many times I step on it, the weight is the same every single time. So it's clearly functioning properly, whereas my old one had gotten very twitchy. And you can get your weight in pounds, in kilograms, and in stones. Stones. By the way, if you want to feel like you're losing weight, get your weight in stones, because there are 14 pounds to a stone, and you'll end up with a weight that is ridiculously small, like 12. So I just find this to work very well. It was something I was actively looking for, but I had not seen that particular item. And frankly, if I had seen that item, because they advertise it as a baby scale primarily, I might not have given it a second look. So that was another piece. Now, let me finish this off by explaining that even though the items you get from Amazon Vine are free, you are liable for the taxes on the item, and that's just, Amazon doesn't charge you taxes, but you have to declare it on your income tax form. The value of the items you receive constitutes taxable income. So if I've received $200 worth of stuff from Amazon, and by the way, I've received well over $200 worth of stuff from Amazon, I have to declare that on my taxes. And your tax liability on something like this is going to be very, very small, because it's like income. How much taxes do you owe on an extra $200 worth of income? But I thought I would mention that. Now, all you have to do to sign up for this program is just go to the Amazon website, and they will have little ads all over the place. Amazon Vine. Just click one of them and go nuts. But I am finding that I get all kinds of interesting stuff. I'm also finding that now that I've used the program for a couple of months, I'm getting an awful lot pickier about the stuff I am willing to accept from the Vine program. I will look at it, and initially, human nature being what it was, I would see something, for example, that apron, the one that I gave to Jane, and I will look at it and say, I have no use for this. Why would I want it? But Jane will, because, the idea of passing up something free that Jane would like just seemed terribly wasteful to me and not very kind to Jane. Now I'm getting pickier about it. Now I look at it, and if I don't actually believe I am going to get some serious use out of it, I'm not bothering with it. So, oh, yes, we have a wet, pathetic cat. Come on, you can come up. I will let them feel sorry for you. Don't glare at me. Oh, you smell so nice. You had smelled dreadful before. Come on. All right, come on up. Yes, I know. Okay, this is what a clean kitty looks like. He's largely dry. His little tail is wet, but he's apparently been drying himself off pretty well. And as you can see, it didn't kill him, no matter what he claims. So anyway, I thought I would share that with you, my experience with Amazon Vine. Plenty more products if you enjoy seeing these items. Well, you got to see pictures of them. If you enjoyed the items and you want to know about more stuff available, let me know in the comments, because as I say, I have plenty more. I just grabbed some at random. All right, we are going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. For those of you who join us for Just Chatting, it will be 8 o'clock this evening, New York City time. And for the rest of you, thank you for being with us. I hope to see you again next weekend. And meanwhile, have a terrific day.